So I'm going to listen.
Hello, guys. You guys are watching My Suara FM Hot Talk. And today we are having Hot Talk Road to GE14 until the general election. And with me is a very, very special guest and good old friend. Yeah, it is a very special guest. We have MK Farhan.
Hi.
How are you, MK?
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam
very good.
warahmatullah. Thank you very much
You
for
just saved me from the dogs just now. So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, so for the listeners outside who doesn't know, My Suara FM is located at a very special place, a very unique place, somewhere in Federal Hill. We're coming up the hill, there's dogs, it's like one of those journeys that you need to go through before you get to the place. So we are in Federal Hill in Jalan Negeri Sembilan. Anyway, let's go back to MK Farhan. Today we have MK Farhan, who's, if you ask me personally, is a person that I love to talk to and debate even during back in Parliament Belia. He's one of those, although we are from the same state, we are from Selangor, but it's one of those people that give you, when he says something, I just love to listen and try to respond in one way or another. Anyway, MK, before we go any further, let's talk a bit about yourself.
Alamak. Okay. I'm not the right person to give some thoughts about general election because I'm an engineer. So if I'm just talking rubbish or just sembang kencang until the pig can fly, but just trust me, I'm an engineer. So we can curse, right?
Yes, we can. Because
good.
This is hot talk.
Okay, hot talk.
Yeah, and then I don't mind.
All right. Well, I'm an engineer right now. So I'm working with one of the MNC in KL. My office in Menara Binjai.
All right.
So that's the reason why I took LRT. Well, I love the public transport.
I'm not sure. I mean, I can't really differentiate LRT, MRT these days. So the one that you take, is it LRT or MRT?
There's a difference between the rich people and the so-called rakyat marhain.
I know, because my house, there's no LRT.
Oh, okay.
And MRT, inshallah.
Oh, I see. Oh, that will be another new LRT coming for LRT 39.
But I think that one is after the election.
Okay, after the election.
right now they don't have it. Yeah. So I assume that you studied engineering before.
Engineering. Yeah.
So
electronics, the same like Noriza. Wow. Too. Okay.
Oh, so Iza did engineering too?
Yeah, Noriza did engineering in Uniton, the same university that I went to.
So it seems that I can see the future. So from being an engineer, you yourself might be a politician one day.
Hopefully not. Okay.
But you are talented in doing so, man.
I'm not offering you any the dark, right?
No. And you're not here because of any the dark.
Yeah, no. I heard the payment here also.
Suka dan rela.
Yeah.
Although sometimes you don't like it and you don't rela.
All right.
Yeah.
So I think we can go back to our topic.
Now everyone is in the mood of general election. We are going towards there, although we don't know yet when is the general election. But a lot of people say, it might be somewhere early May. They say, I don't know. I mean, it's up to the Prime Minister when he wants to bubarkan the Parliament. And anyway, I mean, it's like, from your point of view, with the current situation right now, with the perception, especially coming from the young people or young professionals, how do you see, election campaigning how it is going on right now in the field? On the, maybe not on the street, but so what is the word of the street right now?
Well, it's very hard for us to define what is the real situation happen at the grassroots level. Although we can read from the news or we can watch two different narrative. If you read from the mainstream media like TV3 or you watch TV3, RTM, there will be different issues. And meanwhile, if you watch or read through the internet, FB, Malaysia Kini, well, it has a different narrative for sure. So when we talk about road to GE, I think we need to define first that we have a lot of ways to go.
A lot of road.
Yeah, a lot of road. A lot of ways, a lot of road. It can be bumpy, right? It can be a lot of potholes. It can be a lot of seleko here and there. But at the end of the day, the rakyat need to choose which car or which transport that they going to use to go to GE. Actually, what waiting for us at GE? That also is a question mark for all of us. So right now, if we can conclude it in a very simple way, I think I might going to use the 3C concept because that's the mood right now for all the rakyat. Okay, the first C is rakyat is now confused.
All right.
Second is contemplating. Third is curious.
Yes.
Okay, because confused why? Right now, the dynamics of the politics is totally different compared to what we face in 2008, 2013.
Yeah, how it used to be.
Yeah, it used to be. In 2008, no one expect that pakatan, during that time, there's no pakatan, but no one expecting that.
After that, baru diorang pakai.
Yeah, after that. So 2008 narrative totally different because that time people hate BN so much because of the Budak Tingkat 4 narrative. Okay, you know who.
Yes.
Okay, and then 2013 because of Anwar influence, means Anwar got all these good narrative with him, ini kalilah, ubahlah, whatsoever.
Yes.
But unfortunately, these two elections does not means we're not having good result for them. So we can say that the frustration is there, kecewanya during the blackout.
But they won. I mean, I believe that they won more seats. I mean, they got the states. I mean, they got Penang, and in 2008 they got Selangor. So isn't that a good thing? I mean, because I personally I believe that in every nation there should be a good and strong opposition.
Yes. Well, if you refer to the state level, it will have different perspective, and you can elaborate further maybe after this.
Yeah.
But I think I just drag it back to confused part. Okay.
People are confused. People are contemplating.
2000,
people are curious.
Yeah. 2018. Why actually people confused? People don't know actually who should we vote after this. Okay, in the upcoming election, because why? The coalition of Pakatan Harapan is no longer the same as Pakatan Rakyat. We are now having Mahathir in the coalition, and some of them still not sure is it the correct move or the right move to accept him to join the team or the pact, because we know that keadilan itself is being formed because of Mahathir. Because the result of Mahathir's action towards Anwar Ibrahim and etc. So this is the confusion that that rakyat feel, I guess. Should we support keadilan when they supporting Mahathir? It's like so hard to solve that equation, because how on earth you can accept someone that you are already against him for the past 2 decades, 20 years? So people confused. Is it this is the right platform for me?
Yeah, one way to look at it is like they formed a party to go against that person.
Yeah.
And then now that person is basically with you.
Yeah.
And
So, okay.
So, it is.
Even though they said, come on, move on.
Yeah.
The past is past.
Yeah.
But for Rakyat, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because we still can visualize how cruel the Mahazalim was compared to Najib. So people confused. Is it a right comparison between Tun Dr. M and also Najib? It's too early to make such comparison, I guess. So people confused there. Contemplating is the result of the confusion.
Yes.
So is it okay for me to vote Keadilan or Pakatan Harapan, or should I go with PAS, or should I go with UMNO, or maybe with PSM? The contemplating is there.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I think the localization issues will take place, and then maybe we can't really judge of what's going to happen next. Okay.
Yeah.
And the last one is curious. We are always curious to know what actually
definitely.
the mood of Rakyat.
From both parties, the supporters of both parties. But the way I look at it right now is, for the supporters of the party, it's all right. But there's another group of people, that's the Rakyat, who just feel that, I mean, politics, I had enough of it. I mean, I don't get it, and I don't want to get it because of what you just mentioned earlier just now. I mean, we have a group of young people who say that I don't even want to vote because not that I don't believe in the voting system, but I don't believe the point of me voting.
Yes. So I think that one will go through the debate about Undi Rosa, and then
people doesn't even go out during election, because I do know some people who just like at home watch TV or go to the cinema, do something else. I mean, it's like, I'm not going to queue up in some sekolah to cast my vote for 1 hour or 2 hours,
definitely.
Either under the sun or it's especially if it's raining. You know, some people just feel, I mean, what's the point?
Yeah, like a choice between who will be the lesser evil in this case, right?
Yeah, that is the perception, I believe, for a lot of, especially a lot of young people, a lot of first-timers who wants to vote. But there's also point raised up saying that all these first-timers, they want to vote for the sake of they just want to have the experience of voting.
Okay, that's another point that we can take on. But if you refer to young voters, it's very hard also to read them. You can refer to a lot of research done by Merdeka Center, IDE, Invoke, Politweet, but none of them we can rely to for a long period. For example, if the survey has been done for maybe last 3 months, maybe the data is no longer valid to be used for tomorrow, for example. So right now, can we say that the young voters are leaning towards BN? Maybe yes, because of KJ factors. How about the opposition, Pakatan Harapan? Do we still have the quality young leaders inside Pakatan Harapan, apart from Sheikh Sadiq right now?
So, Mujahid.
Oh, Mujahid.
Oh, Mujahid.
Yeah.
Our very good friend Moja. Our very good friend Moja. I would really love to have him in the studio one day. But I know, MK, this is going to be a very, very good topic. But we're going to take a very short break. And ladies and gentlemen, this is Closer by Chainsmoker.
cut. Guys, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you getting this? Look at this. Never even cut. That's what happens when you work with couples. Oh my gosh. I'm out of here. Woo! Didn't know we were making a porno.
Hello, guys. You guys are back. We are back in Mysore FM Hot Talk with me, Ridwan Rosli, and my very special guest today, MK Farhan, Malaysian Youth Parliamentarian 2014-2017, my batch, a great guy. And today we are talking about road to general election. Earlier just now, we were talking about the mood, about the 3C. It was curiosity, contemplating, and also confused. Now let's talk a bit more about you. I mean, it's like back in 2013. You were still studying back then?
I never really finished studying.
You already finished studying. Can you recall any experience of election back then?
Wow, in 2013, everyone that you met during that time, everyone like, ini kali lah. Ini kali lah. That's the feeling. You approach people without any Assalamualaikum. Ini kali lah, bro. Ini kali lah.
That just shows that you and me, we were hanging out with different set of people.
Okay. that can be biased a bit towards,
yes,
I'm a Reformasi generation, so I think maybe I have the biasness over there.
Sure, no worries.
But in 2013, Anwar Ibrahim factor play a lot of role on how people make their own decision during that time. So I guess it's very good because we have a spokesperson that really educate people to move and then to move and then make some changes towards our system, national system.
And at that time it was Anwar Ibrahim.
Anwar Ibrahim. Right. So you can see Anwar Ibrahim went all over the places around the country, Sabah, Sarawak, and everywhere. But now we don't have that figure in Pakatan Harapan. Right. Yes, we do have Mahathir, but Mahathir is 93 years old this year, so we can expect that there is some issue on his health.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we can't really expect him to go to cover like 5 places in one night. I mean, hanging out until 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, he can still do that, but at the same time, age is a factor.
Yeah.
Especially during this generation of young people, as you were mentioning, people who wants explanation and all. Even back then, that was talking about 5 years ago, where Anwar Ibrahim was there. Yeah. But this time around, it's different.
But we need to look not Anwar Ibrahim as Anwar Ibrahim. We need to look on how his orator, how he explained things back then. Nowadays, not many politicians can explain as good as him. If you can see that the narrative that are being used by most of the politicians in Pakatan Harapan all related to 1MDB, which is quite boring already. People don't care, but it's too much. Okay, how can we relate 1MDB and cost living? No one can really explain to me how these two items can correlate it with each other. If you talk about corruption and how it will affect my daily life, okay, if someone can explain in very simple way, then that will be a very huge advantage to Pakatan Harapan. But unfortunately, we don't have any figures that have a good oratory skills on their side. So at the end of the day, we can see a lot of gimmicks, a lot of a lot of dramas being made.
But the government also, BN doesn't really have good orators.
Yes, but they have KJH.
Wow. KJ. Inilah produk paling membeli. Okay. Yes, they have someone young like KJ that can speak, that can woo the young voters. But that is just one guy. I mean, it's like he's not even. He's a minister. But talking about Barisan Nasional as a whole, I mean, I myself doesn't really see good orators that can really have the charisma to go in front and make you feel like it's okay. I don't mind going to war.
Okay.
Together with this guy, you don't really feel that anymore.
But they don't really. Okay. For example, Pakatan Harapan keep attacking BN, but BN does not play the same tactics as Pakatan, as you can see, because they are focusing more on infrastructures. They try to push on their success, means how they managed to do the transformation. They use the TN50 platform to promote all these products to the rakyat. And meanwhile, Pakatan Harapan keep pushing, government is doing a lot of corruption, a lot of scandals, but they maintain the same way as they did since 2013, where they keep promoting, okay, this is the development that we want to do. This is the success that we already made. Pen Borneo, MRT, LRT, ETP, GTP.
Personally, do you think it's a good thing or not?
Well, at the end of the day, I think it's good. Wow. My mind say it's good. My heart say, well, there's still corruption happen there.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't deny. I mean, it's like in any country, in anywhere, in any organization, if there's no corruption, it means that that organization or that nation, there's no people inside.
Yeah.
when there's people, there's always tendency that you just need one bugger, just a bit lazy. You say, bro, tolong buatlah bro. Aku belanja, aku minum Milo Ice. No, if you ask me, that is corruption.
But the way the damage control is being done is the most important part lah. We need to see how government handle such issues, like for example, Felda scandal. Why for all of a sudden the land can be transferred to other company and you don't know about it, and then suddenly things exploded like that in the media.
Yeah.
So if government can control that issue as good as maybe Azmin for Ijok scandal, maybe we can have a better government for Barisan Nasional, especially if you talk like that.
Maybe it's just controlling the issue. I mean, how do you deal with it? How do you deal with the perception of the people?
Yes. So it's all about perception. If they're really good on controlling the damage, or they are good on explaining things, then I don't think that it will be a big problem for them to fight with Pakatan Harapan. Even the youngster in Barisan Nasional also quite how to say, nak kritik kawan sendiri tak sampai hati, but
that's why we are in hot talk.
Okay.
We can say it.
I think
but no name lah.
Okay lah. Pemuda Harapan, Pemuda BN a bit slow compared to how the youngster in Pakatan Harapan play the issue. For example, the only person that you keep pushing is Sharil Hamdan. I don't know why. Wow. Okay, I'm a friend with him in Facebook. Okay, I don't care about that. But why only Sharil Hamdan is being pushing towards to meet up the youngster? Even the TN50 during the Canvas Belia launching, also the same face again over there on the stage. So if Pemuda BN can come up with more products and then start to explain to rakyat, okay, this actually we already did for the past 5 years, then at least you guys play with facts. Okay, and then you guys can prove it that during this period we already did a lot for rakyat instead of the scandal. Scandal is there, but at least when people start to judge, okay, the cost and the benefit, maybe we can see that a lot of benefits compare the cost, which is the corruption. So when the judgment comes to that level, maybe people will start to vote and start to leaning towards BN again compared to Pakatan. Because Pakatan right now, we can see that a lot of talks here and there, a lot of promises made, GST to be abolished, and then no tolls whatsoever, but they never prove any of their words yet. Maybe because of they are the opposition, they have the limitation there. But again, it's what to talk now. Okay, if they can do in Selangor, they can do in Pulau Pinang, they need to prove it to rakyat. Okay, for the next election, if you vote for us, this is what we're going to do. Unfortunately, we still can see a lot of scandals. Ijok scandal, tunnel scandal in Pulau Pinang. And in Pulau Pinang scandal, I think it's also pretty bad for LGE.
Because it's been a while. I don't know. I mean, I always believe that if you put anyone in the same position for quite some times, he or she will become
complacent,
and the tendency of the people around them to bend the rules.
I like that point, because Pakatan Harapan, I can see that they are started to get complacent with their position, especially the youngsters.
And at the same time, it's not just about the leader themselves, but the people around them. The people, maybe the leader himself is not doing it. But the people around, I mean, these days we have pegawai khas, sampai kalau boleh pegawai khas ada satu bas nak bawa. You know you have one menteri pegawai khas. Oh, bas tu mana? Bas tu bas apa? Oh, pegawai khas dia je. Pegawai khas saja satu bas. Itu nasib baik tak bawa train. Kalau bawa train dua coach dia punya pegawai khas dia. Anyway, I think before we talk more about pegawai khas and all the menteri, I think we're going to take a very short break. And guys, this is Alan Walker. Fade it.
Was it all in my fantasy? Where are you now? Were you only imaginary? Where are you now? Under the sea, under the sea.
Hello people, you guys are back. We are back in Mysore FM Hot Talk Road to GE. With me today, MK Farhan, and we are talking about, more on what's been going on in both parties. BN and also Pakatan Harapan, the opposition, and of course in Malaysia actually there's dozens of political party. But obviously, as we know, the one who's actually stand out, the few, which is for example in BN, a lot of people only know UMNO, MCA, MIC. They don't even, sometimes people doesn't even know that Gerakan is actually with Barisan Nasional or My PPP. Some people doesn't even know that My PPP is a political party.
Still exists.
Yeah, it still exists. It still exists, and they still have a quota for ministers. If they win. So, and of course, there's more a component party in Sabah and Sarawak. The same thing also when it comes to then if we put it that way, all the components party are the government. Whoever who's not in the component party of Barisan Nasional is the opposition, and opposition themselves right now is the prominent one. Of course, before this, you have only Keadilan, PAS, and the new party Bersatu. You have PAN, and of course, even all this while you always have DAP and all. But again, I mean, how do you see? I mean, you personally, do you see that with PAN and Bersatu?
PAN is Amanah, right?
Yeah, Parti Amanah.
Sensitive.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Peter Pan. Alright, okay. Parti Amanah. Isn't this a good thing where it gives people a lot more choice?
Well, if you talk about choices that we have, we can refer to Indonesia for sure because they have a lot of political parties. But
They have like tens of dozens
yeah,
of political parties.
well, we need to agree that GE14 is no longer a binary option. It's not maybe red or blue because we have three cornered fight that we are expecting.
At least in a lot of places.
Gagasan Sejahtera, Pakatan Harapan, BN, and also maybe Bebas, who's going to try to play around in certain areas. So right now people are talking, can Pakatan Harapan win again if there is three corner fight? Because the last time when we have the by-election in Sungai Besar and Kuala Kangsar, yeah, we can see that PN won the two by-elections because of the three corner fights. If we don't have PAS and the Amanah and PAS did not split, then we can see maybe there's a high percentage that Pakatan Harapan will still remain the seat or they're going to win the seat.
Yeah, but at the same time, I also believe the by-election of Sungai Besar and Kuala Kangsar, you can't really say much. I wouldn't say it is. First of all, I believe in the factor that the people voted BN because of the
PAU. Not because of the power that you gave, eh?
Yeah, we gave power, but definitely not because of power. I think the first element was because the parliamentarian passed away in a very tragic manner.
That's Kuala Kangsar.
Both Kuala Kangsar and Sungai Besar.
Okay.
Yeah, because so for the people, for the rakyat, I mean, they already chose, Barisan Nasional, and both parliamentarian passed away in a helicopter crash. And at the same time, besides that, when it comes to either all the parties, the parties which were contending, they had the mobilization, of the whole entire nation, of their political parties' strength to come and support them in both places. But when it comes to general election, everyone is taking care of their own play. Everyone is everywhere. And then it wouldn't be as easy as that for BN either. And then, of course, for these people, there's no such thing as the sentiment of, because she passed away or because he passed away. And this is the thing. If you don't prove yourself, I think in any I think there is another point that we should go on after this. Is it people these days, do they really look into the political party, or is it the personality? Or of the calon or the candidates? What do you think?
Well, I'm quite agree on your points where the by-election is where it's not fair to judge based on the by-election because the whole nation concentrated to that two areas at that time, and then the sentiments that being played because of the late the former MP at that place. Okay, we need to agree on that, but. That's the only, I think, not only but we can say that there's the real cases that happen if three corner fight is going to be reality in the upcoming GE14. Because if you can see the votes given by the rakyat towards these three parties at that time, if you add up Amanah and PAS votes, I think they can compete and maybe they can win against Barisan Nasional at that time, even though Barisan Nasional got the whole country, all the jentera, all the money is being poured in at that places. So Well, it's very hard to predict. Again, I say that, like Rafizi claimed that Pakatan Harapan still can win if you have 3 corner fights. Mahathir also said that there is high percentage.
Of course, every political party will say
say
they win.
that.
I mean, even if you ask BN said, we can win even if we don't put a candidate there.
But how about Rakyat's perception? That's the most crucial part that we need to. Well, we can't predict, but we can say that maybe. And again, when it comes to maybe, drag back to your conversation just now, where we talk about localization.
Yes.
We are no longer talk about personality when it comes to really like orang kata hujung ni, alamak, which one should I vote? Should I refer to the personality of the candidate or should I refer to the localization? I mean the local issues. So the localization take place at this point where we are at the verge of indecisive. We don't know who should we vote. We need to refer, okay, what actually the benefit that we can get directly if we vote this person at the local level. Maybe we can get a minister because if we choose this candidate, then maybe he will become a minister, then we will gain a lot of benefits. That's one of the issue happened in Teluk Intan last time when Datuk Seri Najib Razak declared that Datuk Mah as one of the minister that going to be if he won the election, then people started to shift their vote towards him.
I want a minister to be a parliamentarian.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, that's the issue. The localization of the politics going to happen. Even a lot of people said politics is all about local.
But at the same time, I also believe that sometimes when it comes to the voting days, sometimes people doesn't even know the candidate, but they're just voting based on parties.
Well, if you look at that point,
because last time, especially I still remember when I was very young, I mean, it's like, oh, tak kisah undi siapa pun asal dacing.
Okay.
And that's a saying, because back then Barisan Nasional was like super strong.
Conquered the media. That time we don't have social media, right?
I mean, if they could conquer our neighboring region, they haven't done that. But because we just gained independence, so we couldn't do that. So if they could, they would have. But at the same time, those were the days where you pull tak songkok pun songkok boleh menang lah. But these days, although we say that, oh, it's not like that anymore, but it seems to me, especially when I see, a lot of young people, especially just like Mama or what, they don't even know who's contesting. They just know that, oh, this is the opposition, this is the government. I don't like the government because of these certain issues. I don't like the opposition because of certain issues. And most of these issues are not even, I'm very sorry, but are not even intellectual issues. I give a very simple example. I mean, I've talked to a group of young people in a Kedai Mama. They were playing their, I don't know what is it, the spinner.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're not that young, but they're still playing that spinner. I'm sorry. So they were like, so mana lagi bagus? Oh, Bangkang ke apa? Oh, Najib tak bagus. Kenapa Najib tak bagus? Oh, entah bini dia gemuk. I mean, it's like, that is, I'm sorry, but I have to share this. This is the reality. And then when it comes to the opposition, habis tu sokong pembangkang lah. Tak boleh Anwar Ibrahim main buntut. This is, and I asked them, I mean, how old? I mean, how old are you guys? They were like 19, 20 years old back then. And I think by this year they are voting for those 20 years old or what. This year they are 21. But this is the thing. I mean, it's like, it's just very sad to see that we are talking about all of this stuff, and by the end of the day, these are the people who's voting, whose the sentiment is just as,
Okay, if we have the tendency to generalize things, maybe we can take that case in a certain angle where, if you refer to 2015 Youth Index Belia released by, what is it, the institute?
IRIS.
Yeah, IRIS. So we can see that the last domain, we have 8 domains for youth.
Yes.
And the last one is politics. Showing that politics is very far, it detached from our youth. People don't like politics because for them politics is dirty. Politics can make people argue, gaduh. That kind of perception, maybe yes, politics is the one is the not orang kata apa bahasa kita sekarang ni, not something that really good to talk with your friends. So
That style,
yeah, for example, you know your friend is BN, I'm Pakatan, so we don't have the tendency to talk about politics because we want to keep
Good
relation, okay.
Jaga hati.
So that we can see that from that angle. And the second thing is, if you look back on the statistic for the young voters, means the young voters who do not register as a voters.
3 million plus people.
3 million.
3 million plus people who deny their rights to vote. And this is, I bet you these people love to talk about, to condemn things in social media. Although they say, that is not politics.
Yeah.
I just love to condemn this,
people.
condemn that, condemn people.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, this because what? Because this is not politics. This is my right. But they have the right, their duty, to go and vote. Nobody can dictate who they should vote or who they can vote, but they are not voting. And then my another concern would be is that what about the people who's already registered to vote, but they don't want to vote?
Well, if you compare with other countries as well,
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing. That's the reality.
It is the same trend going on right now.
And if you refer to all the elections happened in 2016, 2017 in Europe, in America in 2017. So actually, people felt like, okay, what is the meaning of me going out at certain day, just put a mark on the paper, ballot paper, and then throw out in that case. Okay, is it going to change anything towards my daily life?
And now they need to have put an ing on the paper.
Oh, ing, yeah. Now one more. Okay.
Now they need to put an ing in the
Yeah.
paper.
If we think it in a very short term, we can say that yes, you will not feel anything. Maybe some of the manifesto that has been promised saying that, okay, after 100 days, this is what's going to happen. GST will be abolished. This is going to happen. Your gaji will increase of a certain time, and then etc. etc. But again, only a certain measures you can say that it will have some impact to your life. But for long term, how can you say that, okay, after I vote you, the cost of living will going down instead of increase from year to year?
So that's why there are still cases where you go and vote and take picture of what you vote and you get 50 ringgit.
Yeah, can be.
Yeah, because people want to see change.
Yes.
And that is change. I voted and I get 50 ringgit. It changes my day today because I get to hang out in Starbucks after that.
That's the okay. That's the orang kata that's the things that we need to understand. Change cannot happen in just one day. We didn't. The Rome's also not being built in just one day. But again,
But it was being burned in a day.
okay. So again, if you talk about change, it's not something that's going to happen tomorrow. We're going to see it maybe after 10 years from now. So if you going to believe or with whatever being seen by Pakatan leaders or opposition leaders that, okay, ubah, you don't expect that ubah can happen within the next day. Don't do that, or else you will feel frustrated after that.
It all goes back to educating our nation, educating our people. I mean, for the betterment of the country, for the sake of nation building, for the sake of good governance. I would love to talk more about good governance, but before that, we're going to take a short break, and this is something just like this. Hello, guys. We are back in Mysore FM Hot Talk GE Road to GE14, and today with me, my former youth parliamentarian, together with me in the last bash, MK Farhan, and we are having a great talk about both the opposition and the government. And we have one question from an audience saying, talking about gerrymandering.
Oh.
Yeah. Issues and why Rakyat is still missing out. How will you comment on that?
Well, redelineation also susah nak sebut dia. Okay, persempadanan or gerrymandering. Well, so hard to explain this because we know that BN is try to make use of having majority in the parliament. That's how people steal the election. Okay, that's why a lot of people saying that Najib is going to steal the election. Yes, in fact, when he did this at the end of the session, means another one more week, he tried to approve all the bills, especially the redelineation and also the fake news. Anti-fake news, yeah.
But I heard that the anti-fake news not going to go through. I mean, it doesn't have time to go through.
Right now, it's just waiting for the signature from our Yang di-Pertuan Agong.
Yeah, but they said maybe it wouldn't really have time to really be implemented during the election.
But if you can see the implication of the gerrymandering or persempadanan semula, you can see that the trend, or they try to gather all the AP voters into one place. And then it will bring a lot of advantages to the AP, but not for the other parties in the opposition pact. So I can say this is one of the tactics. If you want to talk about gerrymandering, we can talk long about this. But again, at the end of the day, how can we fight the majority in the parliament if we do not decide it now to make a change from now during the general election? So, I think that's the only way out.
I mean, I totally understand. I mean, when we talk about this gerrymandering, or basically let's talk about persempadanan semula, or what we call as I forgot what's the term.
Redelineation. Okay, persempadanan lah.
Persempadanan semula lah. Okay, so persempadanan semula. Because what's interesting was during that day, during the persempadanan semula debate, I mean, where they wanted to prove it, I mean, later that day, I was in SPR.
Oh, okay.
So I was with the chairman and also deputy chairman of SPR, which is Tan Sri Hashim and also Tan Sri Othman. Me and my fellow comrades of GPMS, our good friend Azman was there and all. So we had a good 2 hours plus, nearly 3 hours, because of course, I mean, it's like the one which is being done. It didn't started like yesterday. It started even back during Tan Sri Aziz's time. They were already doing it, and they were already like court cases and all. So coming from Tan Sri Hashim himself, he said that they had more than 700 plus what so-called complaint of disagreement. Yeah. So they had bantahan.
Thanks to Berseho, I guess.
Yeah. So they had like 700 plus bantahan. So out of that 700 plus, I mean, mostly came from opposition, obviously, and 65% were accepted. 65% were accepted and allowed, and they said, I mean, of course, I mean, I wouldn't deny that any government of the day would use the persempadanan semula to make sure that they maintain. I mean, obviously, I mean, in any country in the world, I mean, it's obvious. Let's not say no to something that, of course, you'll make the full use out of it.
Yep.
However, by the end of the day, as you say, it's all about the people. Which, I mean, who will vote? Because what? Because it's not just a race game. It's not just a race game. By the end of the day, especially for the Malays, they have more choices now. I mean, last time they only have at one point of time in Malaysia, you only have UMNO and you have PAS. Either you are going to hell or you are going to heaven. It was like either you are liberal or you are conservative at one point. Then you have other parties. Now you have Keadilan, you have Parti Amanah, now you have Parti Bersatu. So even for the Malays, they have so much choices. I mean, yeah, maybe a lot of Malays, a lot of government leaders would say that if you vote for DAP, you are voting for the Chinese, and there are Calvinists lah, apalah semua benda. These people are communists, so on and so forth. But even among the Malays, I mean, they have a lot of choices. And how do you see this development when it comes to the political parties and the choices together going with the Persempadanan? Of course, in the Persempadanan, we know that the Chinese are being put in one place. The Malays are being put in one place. If you ask me, it definitely benefit DAP. Because why? Because MCA, I'm sorry, it's not really a strong contender at all.
Really?
It's not a strong contender. But for the Malays, when you put a Malays in a group, in a pot,
and split.
and you give them like 4 or 5 choices. I bet you it wouldn't be in these places. Some of these places, it wouldn't just going to be a 3-corner fight.
Yes.
It can even be a 4-corner fight. Or kalau boleh semua parti lah nak masuk kan. Even the AP will send a Malay fella pun sama jugalah pergi bertanding juga. There's chances. Because why? Because there's no way UMNO, because the way Barisan Nasional put it is, this seat, it is already given out to all the party component. If UMNO stand here, MCA, MIC or what, not going to stand there. If my PPP stands there, nobody else will stand there. MC, it is. But when it comes to the opposition, you can have PAS, you can have Parti Amanah, you can have Bersatu, you can even have DAP at the same place, fighting with one. I mean, how do you see this when it comes to Malays, the race?
If I'm being biased towards Pakatan Harapan, for sure it will bring disadvantages towards Pakatan Harapan, for sure. Last time during Kota Damansara election in 2013, we already saw how the things going on when Keadilan and also PSM, if I'm not mistaken, suddenly it became three-corner fights. More choices means less votes goes to Pakatan Harapan, because yes, UMNO votes will just maintain like that. If we go with a mathematical expression, UMNO votes would just maintain, and then before this we have the opposition votes. Unfortunately, it need to be split accordingly to certain parties. Okay, so when it's split like that, means lesser chance to win the seat.
Is there any chance that the opposition, you think, that will have a sort of understanding before they go against the government in the general election?
It can be like that. You remember during a election in Pasir Mas, the UMNO candidate suddenly decided not to be the candidate, and then pass the things to Ibrahim Ali. And maybe that kind of situation can happen in GE14. I always hope that during GE14, PAS, for maybe there will be a hidayah coming from Allah, saying that PAS, let's start to work together with Pakatan Harapan, join, and then be the same coalition.
What if PAS said, "Oh, we just got the hidayah, we're gonna join UMNO"?
Well, that's going to be a game changer, of course.
Okay. No, because even right now we are already listening to saying that, oh, PAS is a friendly party. UMNO is saying that, and PAS will say, oh no, we're not really going to attack much on the government or what. What if that really happened?
Well, it can be. That's why maybe they claim themselves as a kingmaker.
Yes.
So-
I mean, when they say that they are kingmaker, I do believe that not just in Kelantan but also everywhere else. If PAS doesn't contest in certain places, you know for a fact who's going to win and who's
Yes.
going to lose. So these are the things that we are looking forward to.
Yeah. Plus, it's not hedging anything. It's just that, okay, we have a loyal voters behind us. If you want our votes, please, you need to comply with certain standard of Islamic administration, values, and so on. Because right now we need to know that BN also still keeping their mouths shut on RUU 355 because it's very, very sensitive for other component parties in Barisan Nasional.
Yes.
So this is how PAS can play their card. They can say that maybe for all of a sudden one day before election they can be like that. Depends.
Or maybe they can just simply say that, for example, where UMNO is sending their seats, where UMNO stands, we're not going to stand.
Okay.
or the other way around.
Yes.
When it comes to keadilan,
It can be.
It can be and say, where keadilan have, I mean, we're not going to stand there.
Yeah.
But knowing PAS, they already know some of the places. They know for a fact that they can win and they want to win.
Although we have this wild imagination, but we need to stay with the fact that PAS and Amanah will never be together again. I think.
I have this theory. I always I already threw the idea to a couple of people, including all the old school people of UMNO. I mean, this is just a theory, but yeah. Let's just say, imagine if Parti Bersatu, the only person who wins from Parti Bersatu is Mahathir. Because I'll bet you, no matter where he stands, he's going to win. You can't deny that, especially if he goes to Langkawi or what. Yeah, he might just win just like that. Even if you ask me, even if you say, Ridwan, go and compete with Tone, I'm going to give you 20 million, I'll say thank you very much. Keep your money, I'm just going to sleep at home. Or I'm going to take the money, 20 million, I'll go and see Tone. Tone, very sorry, Tone. I was asked to stand against you. But I got this money, can I just keep it and I'm just going to sleep at home, I'm not really going to fight you, those sort of things. But imagine if actually Bersatu, the only seat that Bersatu win is Mahathir's seat. So Mahathir is now a member of parliament. And suddenly Bersatu said, we want to be a component party of Barisan Nasional.
I think that scenario has been considered by Pakatan Harapan before they agreed to form the Pakatan Harapan, because anything can happen in PPBM especially.
And you know what's more funny? Because every component party who wins a parliament seat will get a post of minister or deputy minister. Then can you imagine? Mahathir would be, just like example, Menteri Sumber Air dan Teknologi in the cabinet meeting. Our Prime Minister Datuk Seri Najib is on the other side, and on this side Mahathir is standing there. Saya tapi hampa takkan tak ingat zaman dulu kita buat lain, bukan macam people go
If we go even further, let's say Bersatu managed to win certain seats and certain numbers, they can change their support in parliament maybe after this by saying that, okay, UMNO, if you want to form a government together, let's join us, and then we form together our own government instead of PPBM with Pakatan Harapan. That can be one case also, where we don't know how strong the relation between Bersatu and the rest of Pakatan Harapan component parties.
And also the case by case in states, in different states, it could happen the same thing.
Yeah, a lot of tragedy Lompat Party happened from 2013 until 2018 now. So we also need to be careful with all this adun-adun or MP kata. Please make sure that you vote the right person after this. I'm afraid that situation can happen. Unfortunately, I heard that they won't compete under their Bersatu flag. They may be joining other party, maybe DAP. I don't know, because ROS still got issue with them. I don't think they have enough time to register their party. So maybe Muhyiddin Yassin and the rest of the team of Bersatu will be under different logo during the election.
Just a different flag.
Yeah, different flag.
For the sake of election. Or maybe they can just put themselves out saying that, oh, we're going to come in as calon bebas.
I think so, because they're still under Pakatan Harapan.
No, I mean it's like they are Bersatu, but for the sake of election, they go for
It will
bebas.
be hard because they need to choose one logo, maybe Ki, Basikal. but
Ikan, motor, something like that. Anyway, before we're gonna take one short break, even before we wrap everything up, ladies and gentlemen, this is Shape of You at Shireen. Hello people, we are back in Mysore FM Hot Talk, and this is sort of like the last slot for today. Road to GE with us MK Farhan have been talking a lot about the parties, and today compared to the other days in a hot talk, we are talking more on the opposition. I mean, how it is, how it's going on, and how it will affect the opposition. Anyway, thank you very much, MK Farhan, for being here. But of course, we need to wrap this up, because if not, if me talking to Farhan, I think we're gonna take another couple of hours, and still we're not gonna be done. We're gonna continue tomorrow, take another more couple of hours. I think you have a lot of, I can see a lot of things that you're writing there, a lot of things that you want to say, but I think this is like the last 5-6 minutes. Yes, the floor is yours.
Well, I would like to urge and ask for the young voters and all the voters to just go out and vote during the election time. It doesn't matter who you're going to support, UMNO, Barisan, MCA, Keadilan. As long as you believe that your vote will have some impact toward our national development, especially on the economy. We have been through a very hard time, the economy especially. We know that how hard to live in KL and certain area. The cost of living is very high.
Yeah, especially in the urban area.
Urban area. So try to think as measured as possible, as deep as possible. Think that your vote is very, very valuable, and just make your own decision. Okay, if you believe that the country need to be led by someone who has the integrity, then you know who you should vote. Or if you believe in the economic development, the transformation plan, I think you also know who is the best candidate for that. But I personally would ask all of you to try to make a change at least once. Change the systems.
Which state? Which state?
Which state?
Which state? No, because if you say Selangor, make a change,
then it will be a different case. Okay.
Yeah, so same thing goes to Penang or Kelantan. We need to change. Then of course.
Well, we talk in the whole context here. We talk about constitution. We talk about the system. So we talk about the whole the one nation. Okay, so. Just remember, Anwar Ibrahim used to say that bahawa kalau takut dengan risiko, jangan bicara tentang perjuangan. Wah, nak juga quote Anwar Ibrahim ni.
Okay.
Because today is Keadilan's birthday, I think.
Oh, really?
Keadilan birthday, panggil lah itu. Anniversary.
Okay.
4th of April. But yeah, we really just berdoa for the best of our country. And then just go out and vote. That's all I can say. I can't dictate you, or I can't force you to vote for opposition if you don't believe with the values that has been carried by the opposition leaders. Just vote. Follow your heart. Follow your mind. Evaluate as deeply as possible. But if there is a possibility for me to choose, I would like to see that the status quo to maintain, because the competition between Pakatan and Barisan nowadays have yielded a lot of benefits to rakyat, because we can see both parties, both sides try not to be complacent with their situation, their seats, with their position, and
BN have stepped up their game a lot for the past decade.
This is the benefit of having a very tough competition between the parties.
A very strong opposition.
Yeah, strong opposition.
A good opposition, a strong opposition. You need to step up your game. And I would say orang UMNO biasa sebut, kalau takut di lambung ombak, jangan berumah di tepi pantai. Tapi masalahnya, rumah tepi pantai mahal. Zaman sekarang rumah tepi pantai mahal. Bukan soal takut kena lambung ombak, soal tak mampu beli.
Yes.
Kalau dekat Selangor lagi lah orang kata lagi mahal, Penang lagi mahal. Tapi again, Penang, Selangor dia bandar.
Yeah.
KL pun bandar. So of course we cannot expect that the house in the urban area is as cheap as the one in the suburban or the rural area.
Okay, don't accept Ridwan comment on that because he is from rich family.
But again, I mean that this is
Have you been living in any PPR before?
I pernah lalu. I pernah tengok.
No, just kidding.
But those are the things.
Competition is the things that actually both parties compete in a very healthy way. I think it will be good for our Malaysia.
We are just as young people, I think, I mean for our future generation, we're just expecting for better governance, better nation building.
Yes.
Because if not, I mean, political parties, politicians, they should start work together. And of course, this is general election. Of course, everyone is working for themselves.
Yeah.
It's no worries. But again, I mean, we need those focus on nation building, because what? Because it seems to me sometimes I just really feel it hurts me when I see that politician politicizing everything as if that every day is a general election.
Yes. The politicking happens.
The politicking, again, we cannot deny that Malaysians love politicking, even in office and stuff. But again, I mean, it's like, it seems that we are not focused on nation building.
Yes.
Because by the end of the day, I mean, it's like no matter how we politicize things, the one that gonna really benefit the people, not just the leaders, but also the rakyat, is when leaders start to think about nation building. And of course, when you talk about nation building, it's all about good governance. But again, I can't really say much about the whatever government it is, because the one that reflect the government are the people. I mean, right now, the people themselves, when you talk about corruption, small things, or what sometimes that happens among the people. And then these things, but we have reached so far compared to what it is like 60 or 70 years ago. Any last word, MK, before we stop today?
Okay, maintain a good relationship with your friends. Even though your friend is BN supporter or Pakatan supporter, please, we are building a nation here. Your vote doesn't reflect your, is it you are at the right side or wrong side. Don't worry on that. Just believe that every single vote really matters,
Yeah,
counts.
it counts.
And
Counts.
then, hopefully we can see a lot of crispy chicken rendang issue that unite us. Finally, we have some issue that unite us all. And last, you choose reformasi or transformasi? I believe in reformasi. Thank you.
So now the DJ believe in transformasi. So that's why we are very, very lucky today that to have MK Farhan. We were talking now. Right now, we have in Hot Talk, we get to hear about reformasi and transformasi. And I think, if you ask me, this is the future. This is the future when you can have, I mean, in a talk show, you can have both. Because if not, you need to switch channels to see which one. So because what? Because in the future, I think, this is how it should be. I mean, you can have a good discussion. You can have a good talk about it. And thank you very much, MK Farhan, for being here. Really appreciate it. I mean, really hope that you're going to come back again next time.
Wow.
So that you don't feel that I bullied you in this session. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for tuning in to My Suara FM Hot Talk again. Starting from last week until the general election is Hot Talk Road to GE. Every Wednesday, 5 or 6 p.m. We're going to be on air for 1 hour. Thank you very much for tuning in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.